everyone, it is Stealth Lady C, aka Sedania. Thanks for checking out my previous YouTube videos about Raoul and also one about the Norwegian sun. So I'm still fairly new to YouTube and posting videos and all that, so I appreciate your support. I've had Raoul, my 2023 Buick Encore GX, for about 2.5 months now. So he has over 4,100 miles on it now, so he's going to be due for an oil change shortly. So I just wanted to make a quick video and give you guys some pros and cons of what I like and what I don't like about my Buick Encore GX so far. So I have a little cheat sheet here to try to keep me on point so I don't go rambling, because I'm a New Yorker and I love to talk. So I like to be positive, so I want to start out with my cons first and then end on a good note, the positives. So one of the main things I dislike about the Buick Encore GX is that it has no blind spot monitoring. Now I know that's not a big deal to a lot of people, and I thought for a vehicle in this price range, in the high 20,000 range, it would come with blind spot monitoring, but it didn't. That's a separate package, and the plant out in South Korea were just basically shipping out and building as many Encore GXs as they could, since the 2024 model was going to be a redesign. So I wasn't able to get blind spot monitoring package added to this one, so I just got the mirrors. So just get used to that. Never had blind spot monitoring before. It would have been nice, but I'll just use those little side mirrors like I've done on previous car that I had. Another thing I don't care too much for about the Buick Encore GX is the steering wheel. Now this is my first expensive vehicle, but it's leather wrapped and I'm not used to leather wrapped steering wheels. I feel a little bit rough on the hands, and the steering wheel is kind of hard, and just the plain steering wheel that I had in my Dodge Neon ES and my Nissan Versa were smooth, and I actually prefer that a little more. I don't know, I guess I'll eventually get used to it, but that's something I don't care too much for. I wasn't going to ask him to take it off, but I'll just have to get used to it, and then maybe after a few years the leather will soften up a little bit. I don't know. Someone will have to let me know about that. Not used to leather wrapped steering wheels, so would have probably liked it a little better if they didn't have it on there, but it is what it is. Not a huge con, a little just more of annoyance. Now on to the good stuff, the pros. I have way more pros for this Buick Encore GX. First, I would say, is the ride quality. It's very smooth, it handles well. This trip that I just got back from about 2 weeks ago, 1,600 mile round trip from Charlotte, North Carolina to Albany, New York. Long ride there. 15 hours almost going there, and then 12 hours plus coming back. But I was going through mountain ranges in the Shenandoah Valley. I was seeing exits for Skyline Drive, Blue Ridge Parkway. So I had a lot of steep gradients and all that, and lots of windy roads, which I actually like driving on roads like that. I don't know, it might be weird. So Raoul was able to handle the roads well. It's very smooth. This little vehicle has a lot of pep in its step. So love the ride quality of the Buick Encore GX. Another pro is the cabin is very quiet. I didn't hear much noise in here from the highway, from the wind. I only had that when the sunroof was open. I also love the layout of the infotainment center. Now, a lot of these new vehicles, it looks like they just have tablets plastered on the dashboard, and I don't like stuff like that because I like my dashboard to be nice and flat. But in the Buick Encore GX, this particular model for the 2023 version, it's built into the center console, and I love that layout. It made it much easier for me to switch in between navigation and to switch between radio stations as well. So better than having a tablet-like device blocking your line of sight. So love the layout of the Buick Encore GX. Another thing that I love is the horsepower. Now, I know 155 horsepower isn't that much to most people, but to me, coming from a Nissan Versa, I only had 109 horsepower in that vehicle. 155 155 horsepower with the Buick. Along with it having a little turbo was plenty of horsepower. So like I said earlier, Raul has pep in his step. It's extremely fun to drive this Buick Encore GX, especially like I said, if you like to zip around corners and curves and all that. I had no problem merging into traffic. It was a challenge with my Nissan Versa, but with this Buick Encore, I could zip right in, no problem, merging into traffic and getting up to speed and all that. So love the horsepower, love the turbo. Don't let the critics get to you, because it takes probably 9 seconds for it to get from 0 to 60. People don't really drive vehicles like that. You want to have enough horsepower and feel confident to get it on the highway and all that. Keep up the speed and all that. So that's what I get out of this Buick Encore GX. 155, more than enough for me. Another thing that I love about my Buick Encore GX is the sunroof. Not only is the sunroof, it's panoramic sunroof up there. I don't have it open right now. I'm on a lunch break. So I said, let me just do this quick pros and cons video. But the panoramic sunroof is amazing. Since the vehicle is all black inside, when the sunroof is open, it lets a little bit more light in. You can get fresh air. I didn't have to turn the AC on a lot during this road trip. I just popped open the sunroof, cracked the windows, or I didn't even need to crack the windows, and air was coming in, and it was just awesome. And then when it was raining, I still left the shade open, had the sunroof closed, but I just loved hearing the pitter-patter of the rain on the sunroof too. So I'm getting a lot of use out of the sunroof. That was one of the major must-haves when I was car shopping. No sunroof, I'm not buying. And I just got spoiled because this panoramic sunroof isn't the full size like you'd see on a Nissan Rogue or some of the bigger SUVs, but it is at least a pane and a half. I guess sun panel pane. So I love it. It's bigger than your average sunroof. And my final pro, which I thought was actually going to be a con, is the fuel economy. Now this 2023 model is supposed to be 32 highway, 30 combined, 28 city, and I was getting near 40 during my trip. So I'll turn around, show you the gauge. I got 39.8, like almost didn't believe it. So that was awesome. I only had to gas up 3 times going to, 3 times coming back, and then twice going, because I had already topped off the car before I went to Albany. But that's great fuel mileage. That was one of my concerns about going to a crossover SUV. I was concerned that I'm not going to get the 40 plus I was getting in the Nissan for highway, and the high 30s for combined and city. But this Buick Encore GX has greatly surprised me with the fuel economy. So I knew I was going to love it because of the sunroof. I was hesitant about the fuel, concerned about that, almost opted to go with a sedan. But I'm so glad I went with this little crossover SUV. And the fuel range that I've been getting has been a major, major pro. So don't get scared about maybe making the jump from a sedan to a crossover SUV. At least with this product, I've had no issues with the fuel. So just a quick recap. The cons: no blind spot monitoring. Didn't care too much for the leather wrapped steering wheel. The pros: the ride quality, smooth, handles well. It's a very quiet cabin. I love the info center layout in the major console. The horsepower with the dual turbo boost, the sunroof, and the fuel economy. So I'm very happy with my purchase so far. I have over 4,100 miles. I have another big trip coming up soon. Actually, this coming weekend, the daddy-daughter's Father's Day trip to Virginia, and then back to South Carolina, and then back to North Carolina. So he'll be due for an oil change after that. But if you have any questions about the 2023 Buick Encore GX, just leave your comments down. Once again, I appreciate you guys checking out the previous videos, and I hope you like this one. Have a good day.